Expectations versus reality. TV versus YouTube. There's a big difference between what people have come to expect and what actually happens based on how TV goes. So if you watch any of the popular TV series where they build cars, they do projects, you'll see that in the space of an hour it goes from an idea to a running, driving thing, and it's all finished and it's all perfect. But that's not the reality. The reality is sometimes there are years between installments on project builds on these TV channels. But because they condense it all into an episode, it just appears that it's done, boom, and it's on. But you don't realize there's the 2 or 3 stars of the show, whoever they are. Yeah, they turn a few wrenches, and then when they go home at night, a whole crew comes in and fills in all of the blanks and does all of the actual bulwark and the difficult stuff. So the illusion is that it just gets done, right? That's not the reality, and YouTube is more reality, and we're very reality. The thing that we do on this channel, what we stress on this channel is we show you everything that happens, warts and all. We never make any excuses. We never try to cover anything up. We never make anything look easier or harder than it actually is. Like, we try to be the essence of reality programming. And that's what's pretty much happening with Junkyard Jet. So we try to do an update every week. But every week, you don't really have an update. It's more of the same. And like, for instance, today we had scheduled, we were going to do the engine. We were going to do checking over the honing it and checking the bores and doing all of that stuff. But the reality is there are so many things that have to get done to the car to get it to roll, because it's sitting out here and we're in the end of October and the weather's about to change, and this thing has got to get inside. So before we can even think about working on the motor, the transmission, any of those systems, this has to be together, rolling, and in the shop. And it'll be at least another 2 or 3 weeks, or 2 or 3 days of work before that happens. And that's going to put us almost at Thanksgiving, right? So, and that's when it starts to get cold. So priorities change and ideas change, and you make do with what you've got. So our update for this week is that they cleaned a few more things and they painted a few more things that are inside, and they're moving along at a pretty good pace. You guys and of course Garrett departed. Yeah, unfortunately Garrett passed away. You want to tell me the story?
Yeah, he was taking off undercoating, and me and John were inside, working on the front end parts, and
just got real smoky.
He just spontaneously combusted.
Yeah.
So he's dead, guys. Sorry.
Yeah, we'll miss him.
Moment of silence, guys.
Do make sure you sweep Garrett up before you guys leave.
Yeah, we got it.
So along the themes of expectations versus realities. Since this is your first time building a car, well, you're kind of...
I didn't take my car completely apart.
No.
So
you never built from scratch?
No.
And what about you?
No. All the stuff that I've built was underground. So...
Well, underground?
Literally.
Like buried?
Stuff that nobody could know about. Large projects.
It was CIA work.
Right.
Absolutely.
Expectations versus reality. So, you guys been working on this now for how long?
Geez, I think July, wasn't it? Early August, late July. It was hot. It was really hot. So
I think the first weekend, actually...
It was July 4th.
Thrashing on it was...
Yeah, about that, right? Yeah. So now we're into this for 3 months.
Yeah.
So what have you picked up from this so far? Mostly, guys who watch us, you have a lot of people watch us. You got about 20,000 people that are following this build, right?
Thank y'all.
Well, aside from thanking them, and of course, they've been thanked profusely. In fact, you guys just got an envelope with cash in it.
Yeah, we did. Thanks, Kent. I think that was a name he signed. He sent us $50. That was awesome.
People keep donating. They love what's going on. But aside from that, okay, so what have you picked up from this? What have you learned? What has this experience?
Cleaning has been the longest, arduous task of this whole thing. It really has. The undercoating, getting all the paint ready, all this, just getting parts cleaned up. Just because the parts that we're reusing are 60 years old, and they got rust, they got dirt, grime, and grease. And getting them cleaned up and getting them just ready to go on the car. That's really what takes the longest time so far. What about you?
Yeah, I'm kind of with you. I've never worked on Mopar stuff except for your car.
Yeah.
So this whole thing's just been a learning experience anyway, and it's a lot of got to tackle that, get back to it, keep at it. And, just take time with what needs to be taken time with, and make sure everything's right, so that way you don't have to redo stuff.
I've never dropped a K-frame out of a car.
No.
So that, this is literally the furthest I've ever been.
One of the couple of comments that I see over and over again is that it's not a junkyard build anymore.
Well, it's got a junkyard engine.
Well, it's a junkyard body with a junkyard engine, right? But what do you have to say to the people who are like, well, this is strayed from its original intent?
Well, just so far, the stuff that we've put in it is probably the shiniest stuff we have planned to put in it.
Yeah, pretty much.
And it's suspension and steering and the brakes and stuff, because if that 360 blows up, we may put a big block in it. We may put something else in it. And John and I and Garrett were talking about it. We didn't want to go back and have to redo all that stuff. So we just got new stuff, upgraded the brakes ahead while the whole thing was apart, because we figured it was the easiest time to do it.
And the vast majority of stuff that you're putting in here is secondhand, which is really the same as if you had gone to swap meets or car shows or whatever, or eBay or forums and whatnot, and bought it that way. So it's not like you've strayed from the idea. Okay, well now we're putting brand new intake, brand new heads, brand new this, brand new that.
All that stuff. The stuff that we've ordered brand new is like tie rods and the brakes.
Which is a lot of stuff you can just get at a parts house.
You could just get it at a parts store. So like that kind of stuff we got new, but most everything we have is donated, and we're just gonna mash it together and make it work. So that's really the essence of it. Just all this stuff taken together, put it together, see if it works.
A ton of tiny little pieces all coming together.
The new stuff that we bought is vastly outweighed by the stuff that's been donated.
So the vast majority of comments of people offering their opinions have been extremely positive. And there's been a few naysayers, right?
That's fine.
Has any of them gotten under your skin?
Maybe at first, but not really anymore, because I'm more focused on building the car. So I care about the car. I want to see the car move.
I did get kind of, was a little butthurt about the whole, 2-barrel cast iron intake manifold personality thing. And then somebody sent us a sticker.
James sent us some stickers that we're going to put on it. And now his nickname is John 2-Barrel Allen. So we're just going to own that. I'm Pork Chop. I'm owning that. You can own 2-barrel.
Yeah.
So,
I'll live.
Yeah. But
poor Garrett.
Did
he have a nickname?
Eskimo. That's kind of ironic now, isn't it?
Yeah, he got a bit toasty there.
That's not really Eskimo status.
Maybe we'll call him Smokey now.
Yeah. Smolderers.
Right? Dominus Nobiscus. So, anything else you want to wrap up? Say about what we've got going on here before we move forward, and let's say next week have even more things that we really can't update because it's just stringing stuff together.
Yeah. So anybody who has keen eye will notice that we put the springs in beforehand, and then we had to take them back out because we had put the standard springs in.
You grabbed the wrong ones.
Yeah, I grabbed the wrong ones. Yeah. And then when we tried to swap the hardware over, all the bushings fell apart, and that's what prompted like the bushing kit and stuff. But now they're in, and now they're not coming out. So those are the correct springs in correctly now. So of course, all that's going together.
Those bushings didn't fit.
They didn't fit. Yeah, no, we had to take a die grinder and take out just a small bit to get the sleeves to fit.
Okay, that's all right. So you guys have never built a car before, right?
No.
So, and we have a lot of people in the audience that have never built a car, and they're wanting to build a car. All right, what have you come across as far as making things fit, things being a little difficult, not quite?
That was the only thing.
We've had a lot of stuff that really just kind of worked.
Yeah.
I mean, the brake kit was a lot of Lego. Like, there was 400 parts to that.
The instructions told us to do that now. Yeah. So I don't know if that counts. But the bushings, that is like the only thing, really.
Yeah, literally, they send you 2 sets of bushings to go in the leaf spring, and they go in perfect, but the sleeve that they give you doesn't actually go in the bushing if you want to use the correct bolt for this application, so you got to hog them out, which is dumb.
I think that's due to super stock springs. I think they would fit the standard ones fine.
No, they're the same bushing.
That's right, they do. They have the same bolt. So yeah, never mind. They just didn't fit. So
no other surprises, no other gotchas.
Nothing really yet. I mean, but we're gonna run into that. There's no doubt. So, but is there anything else on top of your event? Maybe it's just because that's the most recent.
Probably.
I don't know. We just kind of blank it out, make it work, and then forget about it. So.
All right. One last question. You're probably at the 1/3 way mark right now.
That's actually what I was telling Garrett earlier.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're at about the 1/3 way mark. Is there anything you would have done differently so far than where you're at?
I think we're, in my head, in my process, that we're tackling the things in the correct order. As far as rebuilding the suspension and the front end first and then putting the engine end together and all that. I can't think of anything that I would really do differently that we haven't already done.
Well, a lot of the things that we've been doing that have taken time has been trying to source the right parts for the application, waiting on, like, the bushing wasn't the correct thing. Like, they didn't even include the lowers, right?
Yep, nope, they didn't include those.
buy the
We had to
full
get
kit that
those
doesn't have
separately. That's really our biggest complaint is that pushing kit.
But
Yeah.
there's nothing you would have done differently as far as like the parts or the idea or the concept or anything that you've...
A little bit more of curbed expectations as far as the timeline.
Maybe we could have taken more rust out of the engine bay.
That's important what you just said.
Yeah. Just curbing the expectations of your timeline.
Yeah, you thought it was going to be... Well, you figured it would be almost running
thought
by
that it would-
Christmas.
Be, rolling by the end of the year under its own power, and
No.
we've got a block over there on the stand that we still need at home.
Yeah,
It's
no.
Then you still have to finish porting the heads. We
Yeah.
still have
Yeah, I
to...
know.
Still
There's
gotta
a
finish
ton
all
of work
that.
that has to be done yet.
Yeah.
All right. So that's it. That's our update for the week. Junkyard Jet, right? Next week, what do we expect?
We'll be probably honing the block in that way you're talking about.
What about putting the whole front suspension and
But we
everything
still
on
got,
this?
we're going to be putting the K-frame
Yeah,
together.
we need to assemble that
We need
so
to
we
get
can
that
go ahead and
together.
roll
We
it
were
over there.
planning to do that today, but then we took too much time.
So I guess that's what we'll cover next week. We'll show everything going into the car and making it a roller. We really do need to get it inside. We need to clean out that corner so we have some working room.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's starting to get cold now. So.
All right, guys, that's it. I'll see you tomorrow. I'll see you next week. And
Moment of silence for Garrett.
moment of silence.